Making housing more affordable in Canada. What the government had in the federal budget 2022 for the housing market. Today I'm going to go over 5 changes in the federal budget for 2022 that you should be aware of and which programs in our opinion would actually benefit buyers with housing affordability. What's up you guys? My name is Zach and this is Felix Chan and we are from the Live Inner City Real Estate team here in Calgary. Okay, let's get started.
Doubling the first-time homebuyers tax credit. Now, originally, you can get up to $750 tax credit. The value of this tax credit is calculated by multiplying the credit amount of $5,000 by the lowest personal income tax rate. In 2022, it's 15%. The new budget proposes to double the credit amount to $10,000 with up to a $1,500 tax credit. This applies to qualifying homes bought on or after January 1st, 2022. Now, will this help? No. I mean, $1,500 is a nice chunk of change, but all that really buys you is maybe a couch from IKEA or hosting a few birthday parties at McDonald's. Neither of which is a big enough incentive to buy something, and it doesn't really help your bottom line.
Tax-free first home savings account. This has the biggest positive impact for buyers. It's like a hybrid product that combines an RRSP and a TFSA. It allows first-time home buyers the ability to save up to a lifetime limit of $40,000. It's like an RRSP because contributions are tax deductible and you can invest the money in virtually any asset. It's like a TFSA because the money can be taken out of the plan tax-free. You can contribute up to $8,000 a year and it does not carry forward, so if you miss a year, too bad, so sad. At the first announcement, they said it was for people under 40 years old, but that is no longer the case. Before I continue, I want to give credit for the following advice to Garth Turner, the hilarious brain behind the blog, The Greater Fool. No one keeps it more real than him, so if you're interested in real estate, economics, and money, check out his website in the description down below. Okay, back to the FHSA. It expires after 15 years, so if you haven't used it to buy a home, then you must close the account. But you are going to get 15 years of untaxed compound growth of your investments and the tax reduction for contributing $40,000 over time. You can make a transfer from an RRSP to the FHSA on a tax-free basis, but get this. If you transferred money from an RRSP to a FHSA, you actually get 2 tax breaks because the transfer is tax deductible. So you get 1 tax break for putting money into the RRSP, then another when the RRSP money is transferred to the FHSA. Bomb! This program is great, especially for high-income renters, because number 1, it serves as an extra tax shelter for 15 years. Number 2, tax-free withdrawals. Number 3, double up on tax deductions. And number 4, higher annual contributions compared to the TFSA. Important note, if you take part of this program, you cannot use the home buyers plan, which allows individuals to withdraw up to $35,000 tax-free from an RRSP account, but must repay the loan in 15 years.
So Zach, it actually sounds like a pretty good program. Do you think it's gonna help?
Yeah, if it's utilized correctly and you have a plan of when to buy, absolutely, this is a great program. You can put the money away into an investment, let it grow, and potentially have more money as a down payment.
Now, I guess the caveat for this is, investments, just like, economic cycles where there are peaks and troughs, you have to be mindful of the risks because when you pull out your funds, you may not know where the market is or the value of your investments, if it's up or down.
I hope you're enjoying this content, and if you are, we love your support by hitting the like button and feel free to subscribe if you want more content like this.
Property flippers will have to pay up. Now, anyone that sells a property that they've held for less than 12 months would be subject to full taxation on their profits, as it's going to be considered as business income. This comes into effect for residential properties sold on or after January 1st, 2023. Now, there are some exceptions though, depending on circumstances, such as death, disability, serious illness, birth of a child, change of employment or work location, or divorce.
Ban on foreign investments in Canadian housing. This measure prohibits foreign entities and individuals from buying residential property in Canada for 2 years. It won't apply to Canadian citizens, refugees, permanent residents, international students on the path to permanent residency, and individuals on work permits who are living in Canada.
All right, so this article is from Statistics Canada, and it was the most recent one I found on foreign ownership of Canadian real estate, which was released in December of 2017. It studied only large markets like Toronto, Vancouver, and the interesting thing is that it says non-residents owned 3.4% of all residential properties in Toronto, and in Vancouver, non-residents owned 4.8% of residential properties. Average the two together, and that equals 4.1%.
Now the question is, how accurate is that? Could this number be more because of foreign individuals sending cash to friends or relatives that already live here to buy in their name, or start a numbered company in Canada and fund in a Canadian bank account for a purchase? And even if they do, would it be a material amount? If it was 10%, would this new rule slow down the market? I know that this rule would not have any effect in the local market I'm in, which is Calgary, Alberta. The strong demand here is coming from Ontario and BC investors and speculators. And I know this because our team gets calls every day from these people.
Multi-generational home renovation tax credit. Now, for qualifying renovations, that would create a secondary suite, so an eligible person, a senior or a person with a disability, to live with a qualifying relation, usually a family member. This provides up to $7,500 in support for building that secondary suite, and this is going to start in 2023. This refundable credit allows families to claim 15% of up to $50,000 in eligible renovation and construction costs to build a secondary suite. Now, our team sees more and more parents moving in with their adult children because of tight family ties, finances, or just help with the kids. And I personally think it's a great program to promote this trend. However, we don't think it would be a significant impact on the housing market.
Sales to tax assignments for new homes. An assignment is when one party transfers the rights and obligations to another party. Most of this takes place with new pre-construction properties and has been rampant in markets like Vancouver and Toronto. How this works is, if I were to buy a new pre-construction property, I'm technically not the owner of it because it's not built yet, but I do have a contract with the right to buy it. Most investors or speculators would write a purchase contract, and before possession happens, they would transfer or sell the rights to the contract to another buyer at a profit. So a lot of speculators have taken advantage of this in a fast-moving market, and the sales tax will definitely slow this down. I think this is great because it gives real homeowners with intentions of actually living in there a chance to buy a home. The key takeaway is that the assignment sales tax isn't just on profits, but on the unit price. This is a proposal, but if put into effect, it would start May 7th, 2022.
So at the end of the day, I think the simple fact is, in real estate, just like any other product or commodity, it's really based on supply and demand. And demand can slow down as fixed rates are around 4% right now, and it could be 5% in the summer or the fall. On April 13th, the Bank of Canada raised its interest rate by 0.5%. And for the first time in like 22 years, making the variable rate mortgage and HELOCs more expensive.
Yeah, and the next interest rate announcements are on June 1st and July 13th. And if they continue to hike rates, then we would definitely see a slowdown in the market.
And one of the biggest drivers for housing demand is really affordability. And with that, comes other things like, rates, family money, so gifted down payments, and of course equity from existing homes to move up.
Our advice for buyers is very simple. Don't guess what you can afford, know it. Talk to a mortgage broker to see how much you can qualify for. Don't overextend yourself, and it's always better to own an appreciated asset than not to own one at all. So if you want to know what you can qualify for, reach out to Fee and he can help you figure that out.
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, and just make sure that you partner up with a knowledgeable real estate agent that's going to be able to consult you from beginning to the end. Not someone who's an order taker, right? There's lots of them out there, but someone that can competently advise you. And if you can take advantage of these tax breaks and these programs, that would just kind of be, the cherry on top. My name is Felix Chan.
Oh, and I'm Zach Schultz.
We're here with the Live Interstate Real Estate team helping you keep real estate simple. If you guys have enjoyed this content, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you like this content, you want more of it, and we'll see you in the next video.